DJ DFOS. Welcome to another episode of Speak On It. And on today's topic is no game for old men. Is hip hop a young man's game? That's a good question, I think. I think it's always been an ageism thing in hip hop, not so much in other genres like rock and roll, them cats 50, 60, whatever, still doing their thing. R&B, look at Ron Isley. This cat maybe 70 years old doing this thing. But in hip hop, is it no game for old men? I mean, we got a lot of vets still putting out good music. I mean, you got cats like Ice Cube, been rocking since the 80s, still putting out good music. You got Dre, you got E40, you got Nas, you got Jay-Z. I mean, you got a lot of older cats putting in a lot of good work. And so I don't know if it's a disconnect between the age and the young boy. The young boys on one level, and the OGs are the other heads on a whole nother level. But is it an age old debate, or is it a civil war in hip hop against the young cats and the old cats? I think as long as you can relatively spit and put out good content, you still got a core audience, you got a core fan base that they will rock with you despite your age. You know what I mean? Some of the albums get better as you age. Some of the content gets better because you're growing and you're growing into a new space. So just like, maybe get some comments. What y'all think about, is it a young man's game or is it an old man's game? Can I still put out records? I mean, we got cats, like I said, I like Cube. He just put out an album last year, Man Down. Dope album. Dope beats. Cube can still flow. Cube got his vintage flow. He's still doing his thing. E40, he been putting out projects. He keeps putting out projects. But then you got some artists that I would still like to hear from. I grew up in the era of like the Big Daddy Kanes, the Rakims, Coogee Raps, KRS-One. KRS-One is crazy because he said if he's in the grocery store and a cat wants to battle him, he's putting the groceries down, they getting at it. But cats like that, cats that I grew up on, they still can spit. They still can get in. As long as you still got your right mind and you still got something to say, I think it's an open debate. And I think it's room for both ends of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point, the young cats are going to be the old cats. You know what I'm saying? You think about when the older cats came into the game, it was other cats that were still in. I'll give you the best example. Era I grew up on, LL Cool J. LL still drop fire to this day. Still, he put a record out. I don't know if it was this year or the tail end of last year with Eminem, going bar for bar with him, bar for bar, matching. LL, I mean, we talking about since Rock the Bell, since I'm Bad, since his first album. You know what I mean? LL can still put it down. Will Smith, he made a resurgence. Will, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Will Smith started in that whole lane. But if you go back to listen, man, cat joints like A Brand New Funk. Will was dropping it, man. Will was kicking some game on that, man. Now you fast forward to this era, Will still got bars. Will just released some music. He's kind of coming back. He got a residency in Vegas, as a matter of fact. But I think long as you stay sharp, you stay on your toes, you don't have to keep up and do what the young cats are doing. I think you stay in your lane, you stay dedicated to your fan base, your core. I think it's room. You know what I'm saying? I think it's room. Of course, you got cats, like me, I listen to both ends of the spectrum. I want to see what these cats are doing, and I want to keep up with my generation of cats and see what they spitting about. I mean, you look at cats like Snoop. He's getting older, right? He's considered in that lane, but he's still dropping hot stuff. You know what I mean? Some people, they still want to hear from them vintage artists. I mean, if them artists come in concert, a lot of people will go rock with them because they have a core demographic and fan base that's rooted in what they've been doing. Cats like Scarface. Scarface still can drop good music. So I think it'll always be a debate. Some of the young cats, you know what I mean, they move on a whole nother tip. They like rapping about what they coming up, what they aspiring to get. But then you got cats like Jay-Z when he dropped the 444 album. He's in a different lane in his life now. He's talking about investing. He's talking about family. He's talking about black wealth. So cats that grew up in the game, that seen that was young, 20s, 30s, now they 40s, 50s. They want to hear something else. You know what I mean? The young boys talking about the girls they can pull. They talking about being geeked up and all that. Like the cats, from my era, we ain't trying to hear all that. We ain't trying to get geeked up, and we more on the family side. You know what I mean? Family men, fathers, grandfathers. We trying to do the right thing, live his life, but we still hip hop heads at heart. So I think it's always room, man. I don't think you age out unless you just physically can't do the job no more. You physically can't get up there and rock the mic no more. And I don't know about, trying to perform. Like they say, a lot of the old cats they don't dance, they boogie, but um like somebody like a Hammer. Hammer's old school too, but I can't see Hammer trying to get up there and do what he did in his heyday, but long as you can still spit, man, and you can still relate and you don't sound dated or played out, I think it's always room, man.